Yo guys, what is up? This is Real American Josh here, and I'm here with my predictions for SummerSlam. Now, obviously, the final card has not been set yet, but I'm gonna ignore that. I'm gonna go ahead and go with my card, like what I would have happen. So first off, um, all right. First off, we're gonna. All right. So basically, the pre-show is going to feature the Cruiserweight Championship match between Cedric Alexander and Drew Gulak. Uh, and basically, Cedric Alexander retains his championship on the pre-show. Although that would be a good match, it deserves to be on the real show, but it's not going to be. So, and and basically, another match on the pre-show: Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin. And Constable Baron Corbin goes ahead and he grabs the win over Finn Balor. And yeah, I mean that's just how it's going to go, guys. And also another match on the pre-show will be basically I think Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega team up to battle Lana and Rusev, which makes a lot of sense. And in the end, Andrade and Zelina Vega get the win. So now let's go ahead and hop into the real show. So I think WWE they're kind of setting up. All right, let's just go ahead. Oh wait, one more pre-show prediction. I forgot about this match: Bobby Lashley versus Elias, and Bobby Lashley's gonna win that match. I don't want it to happen. I would have Elias win. I want Elias to get pushed. But let's be honest, that's not gonna happen. They're not gonna let Bobby Lashley lose to Elias. So basically, the show opens up with the SmackDown Women's Title triple threat between Becky Lynch, Charlotte, and Carmella. And basically, I would have Charlotte cause Carmella to tap out with that figure eight, and Charlotte wins the championship. But after the match, Becky Lynch goes in and she acts like she's congratulating Charlotte, and Charlotte turns around and boom, Becky decks her out of nowhere, turns heel in the process, and that sets up the match at Evolution, which would be awesome. And next up on the card, you've got your regular feud. Well, between Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens, with Braun Strowman putting his briefcase on the line, and basically, Kevin Owens looks like he's going to win the match, but Braun Strowman wins the match, but make it a good match. Don't completely have Braun dominate Kevin Owens, and don't have Kevin Owens beat Braun even by cheating, unless it's by cheating. And I feel like that could happen. I feel like they're setting up for Jinder Mahal to cost Braun Strowman the briefcase, and for Kevin Owens to become champion. But I don't want that to happen. But then again, well, if Brock Lesnar does not leave for UFC, you can have Kevin Owens and Brock Lesnar face off in a match. But can we honestly, convincingly have Kevin Owens beat Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman? I would keep the briefcase on Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman beats Kevin Owens, but it's a decent match. But it's not an extremely long match because reasons. But next up, you got your Raw Tag Team Title match between the B Team, the Leader of Worlds, and you've got the Revival. So basically, in the end, I would have the Revival win to make the tag titles serious again. So the Revival becomes tag champions. Maybe Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy split up, but this time, I don't know. I really don't want to see another Bray Wyatt, and I really do not want to see another Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy feud though. But Matt Hardy could be the one to turn heel this time, even though the fans will still cheer him. Because Bray Wyatt as a face, that's something we really haven't seen other than in this tag team. But I mean, let's be honest, Bray Wyatt's never going to get pushed anyway. So, what does it even really matter? It really don't matter. The Revival wins the championships though. Next up, you've got the U.S. title Fatal 4-Way, or Triple Threat: Randy Orton, Jeff Hardy, and Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura retains by hitting a Kinshasa on Orton. Or, no, Jeff Hardy. Orton should not eat the pin yet. But yeah, and basically Randy Orton gets mad because Jeff Hardy kind of cost him the match some. Like Jeff Hardy, like basically ends up with Jeff Hardy basically focusing more on Randy Orton than actually winning the title, and it leads to him ended up losing. But next up, like this match might be kind of surprising. It's not on the pre-show and it's actually on the show. Bobby Roode versus Mojo Rawley, but that match isn't going to last long. Mojo Rawley wins after maybe 5 minutes. It's basically just 5 minutes of filler. Like, why not? But next up, you've got your Raw Women's Championship match. You stick it in the middle of the show. Ronda Rousey versus Alexa Bliss. Ronda Rousey wins by forcing Alexa to tap out. Ronda becomes the champion, and Natalya attacks her immediately afterwards. And that sets up Natalya and Ronda Rousey to main event the women's pay-per-view Evolution. And that would be something. That would be really good. Next up, you've got another really important match. Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. And yeah, I'm just making sure like I do have all these. No. Before that, you're going to have your SmackDown Tag Title match between The Bar, who I think will beat New Day, and then the Bludgeon Brothers, with The Bar turning face in this, and actually, but unfortunately, in the end, the Bludgeon Brothers go ahead and win. And after the match, Sheamus gets mad and turns on Cesaro, setting up another feud. I know, another feud between Cesaro and Sheamus. Not the most exciting thing in the world, but Cesaro, this allows Cesaro to potentially get that United States Championship push that he's been looking towards. Like a Shinsuke Nakamura Cesaro feud would be a really good feud. Like Cesaro is like AJ Styles. He can pretty much put on a good match with anybody. And having Cesaro at the top of the mid card, and then eventually Andrade Cien Almas, although I'd rather see Almas as the as the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. I'd like to see him take it from AJ Styles at WrestleMania 35. That would be awesome. And I might go ahead and do one where I predict the WrestleMania 35 card. But like that would be awesome. That would be awesome to see Almas take the title from AJ Styles at WrestleMania. But anyway, Cesaro and Sheamus cannot win because well, Cesaro gets taken out and Sheamus gets pinned. Yeah, Sheamus eats the pin. No, actually, Cesaro eats the pin. Sheamus gets mad and hits him with a bro kick. Feud between them, maybe a couple of matches. Cesaro beats Sheamus. Yeah, that basically ends their feud. And Cesaro goes on to United States Championship glory. Next up, we have Daniel Bryan and The Miz, which is going to be just a good match. It's going to be a dang good match, man. And yeah, that basically, in the end, Daniel Bryan wins the match. Daniel Bryan wins the match. Daniel Bryan beats The Miz. I mean, I don't want to do that, but then maybe The Miz wins by cheating and you continue this feud. I mean, who knows? If you continue this feud, I'm fine with that because this should be a good match. I mean, I wish it was for the WWE title. I wish The Miz was champion. Like, Miz deserves a WWE World Heavyweight title shot. Like, him and AJ Styles will put on a great match. But that's not going to happen. Next up, you have your IC title match between between Seth Rollins and Ziggler. Once again, McIntyre kind of well, you know what? How about you have it like this? McIntyre turns on Ziggler, costs Ziggler the match. Rollins is once again IC champion, and you set up McIntyre's first major feud with Ziggler. And yeah, that basically catapults McIntyre to the top. Like, McIntyre goes ahead, he moves towards the top to possibly becoming Universal Champion one day. Like, I could see that happening. Or just Ziggler wins again due to interference from McIntyre. One of the two, but like, I don't know. Like, also, another thing that could happen, they kind of double team Rollins after the match, and Ambrose runs out. You know what? I think I like this better. Instead of McIntyre, I like the idea of Ambrose running down and helping Rollins, and then Ambrose and Rollins feud with Ziggler and McIntyre. The only problem is that takes the IC title out of the picture for a minute. Like, it's basically a tag team, but in the end, like, you know, eventually set up Dean Ambrose turning on Rollins to become a heel. Like, that would be great. A heel Ambrose. A real lunatic fringe would be pretty nice. And I could see that happening. Like, I could see it happening. But, like, you know, like, I would love to see that Ambrose is a heel against Rollins. Alright, next up, you have your WWE World Heavyweight title match between AJ Styles and Samoa Joe. And I'm kind of torn. On the one hand, I want to see Samoa Joe win the WWE title. On the other hand, AJ Styles has so many more good feuds he could put on. Like, he could face Daniel Bryan, Jeff Hardy, The Miz, Randy Orton, Andrade Cien Almas. Like, so many more good feuds. Samoa Joe, there's not really a ton of feuds he could have because there's not as many faces on SmackDown. But once you get past all those, what does AJ Styles, who does he face next? R-Truth? Ty Dillinger? Like, I don't know. I don't see it. Like, hopefully, like, they go ahead and do a draft soon. Well, I still want to see those feuds. Like, AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy would be great. AJ Styles versus Cien Almas. Like, their SmackDown match was really good. Imagine what they could do on a pay-per-view. They could easily put on a 5-star match. Even AJ Styles and Cesaro would be awesome. Like, these are guys that could put on 5-star matches. But I hope, like, if they have AJ Styles win, they don't build towards AJ Styles facing John Cena again. Like, they put on great matches, don't get me wrong, but I really don't want to see that again. And the reason being, John Cena winning his 17th title off of AJ Styles, like, I don't want that. I really don't want that. Alright, and the final match of the night, the main event that no one wants to see, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, part 47 at this point. Like, this is becoming the new Randy Orton John Cena feud. Like, nobody wants to see this, but it keeps happening. But, plot twist, Braun Strowman comes out after having defeated Kevin Owens earlier in the night. That's why I had their match so early in the night. Strowman cashes in, making it a triple threat, and Strowman absolutely wrecks Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Shades of, like, similar to what Brock Lesnar did to Cena at SummerSlam 2014. Yeah, like, Braun Strowman wrecks both of them. And eventually, Braun Strowman, dang it, what am I even trying to say? He running power slams Roman Reigns from one announce table through another one. Gets in the ring, and he hits 3 running power slams in a row. But, you know, if you want to make him look really strong, have him pin Brock Lesnar after 1 running power slam. Like, kind of like you had 1 F5, but I think Braun Strowman should put him down after 3. Not try to pin him after each time. I think he hits 3 in a row. I don't know, like, actually, he runs back in the ring. Lesnar picks him up for F5. He gets out of that. He picks Lesnar up and hits a running power slam. 1, 2, 3. Braun Strowman is your Universal Champion. And, like, he's not cashing in after the match. He doesn't look like a coward. Like, he actually looks like a legitimate superstar. He already looks strong. But, in the end, I would have loved for Bobby Lashley to be in this match, make it a triple threat, and for Lashley to win the title. Lashley to get 1 Universal title reign, and then, you know, Strowman cashes in the next night, and that main event's Raw. That would be a great match, and Strowman wins. Like, but Strowman needs to be the Universal Champion. Make it happen. Now, I believe they're setting up Jinder Mahal to cost Braun Strowman the briefcase. And Kevin Owens gets the briefcase and becomes the first ever 2-time Universal Champion. I don't want to see that. I want Strowman to be champion. Strowman deserves the championship, but unfortunately, if rumor has it, Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens at Hell in a Cell 2018. What can I say? Like, that sounds like Kevin Owens is going to become champion and Roman Reigns is still chasing him. But I hope to God that does not happen. But on the other hand, I want Lesnar to lose the belt. He really is the worst Universal Champion of all time. I want Finn Balor to eventually get his championship match back. Unfortunately, I've got him losing to Constable Corbin. And that's how I would book it. I want Constable Corbin to get a push too. Baron Corbin could be a legitimate superstar. But in the end, I just don't see it happening. Like, I don't see Braun Strowman winning the championship. But this is how I would book it. So, if they go with how I would book it, hire me for WWE Creative. Please. I can make you a show that will draw fans. I will try to make every match. I can do everything I can to make every match a 5-star match. But guys, that's going to do it for the video. If you enjoyed my predictions, make sure to leave a comment, share, subscribe, rate. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. My link will be in the description, guys. Real American Josh out. Peace.